looking at myself in the monitor and I'm like, oh my god, this is... Hello Starlets, I'm Sarah from Everyday Starlet. I make videos to inspire you to be the best version of yourself and live your dreams. So if you want to be an Everyday Starlet, be sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to make sure you get my videos because YouTube is getting weird about things, be sure you hit that little notification bell so you never miss one of my videos. I'm a firm believer that luxury should be available to everyone, which is why I get really excited when I see a drugstore makeup brand that actually takes the time to really give you great packaging and just make the whole experience applying makeup feel luxurious. That's why I'm a huge fan of Milani. They're not sponsoring this video, I'm just a big fan of the brand. I actually went through my collection of Milani products, picked up some products that I didn't have, some ones that I wanted to try, some new products they had. Actually put together a very close to full face of Milani makeup. So I thought I could apply it and give you guys a review, in some cases a first impression, in some cases just a regular review of a full face of Milani products. So if you want to see how I got this affordable drugstore glam makeup look, then just keep watching. Okay, now I'm going to start with primer, and I'm going to start with the Milani Prime Shield Face Primer. This is the mattifying and pore minimizing and oil free. I have used this primer before. I like it. I don't know if I'm in love with it. Here's the thing, I'm super picky about primers. To me, primers are a little bit more in the realm of skincare. I'm kind of more of the mentality that if you're going to spend money on a makeup product, it should be a primer or a foundation. So while I like this primer and I like having one from the drugstore that I can use in a drugstore makeup look, it's not one that I reach for unless I'm specifically doing a drugstore makeup look. Milani has come out with quite a few primers lately. I feel like when I bought this one, there weren't a lot to choose from, but they have come out with a lot more since then. I just felt like mattifying and pore minimizing made the most sense for me. My skin does tend to be normal to oily, so that's why I picked this one. Okay, now on to foundation. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. Here's the story on this foundation. I did a review on it when it first came out. I will try to link that video to this one. When they first came out with it, they had a very limited shade range. I reviewed it. The closest shade to my skin was not good. I didn't really like the formula either, but I wanted to give it another chance now that they've released more shades to see if the reason I hated it so much was mostly because of the shade. And this is in the shade Light Beige. I can't actually find, because I'm pretty sure I threw away the one I had before. I don't know what shade I used before. This one is supposed to be a better shade match for me. I think what I'm gonna try, because I have two sides of my face for a reason, I'm gonna try one side of my face applying this with my Clarisonic foundation brush, and then I'm gonna try the other side using my Real Techniques buffing brush, because one is my favorite electronic foundation brush and the other is my favorite non-electronic foundation brush. I love both of these brushes. I just feel like certain foundations work better with one than the other. Some of my foundations work great with both, but some only one or the other. And my first thought is I do think I like the side with the buffing brush a little bit better. As much as I love my Clarisonic foundation brush, this foundation is very thick and heavy. I don't hate it. I feel like the buffing brush for this particular foundation works a little bit better. There's less pull, but I am gonna go over the whole thing with my beauty blender. It's what I always do when I do any kind of foundation, just to smooth everything out. Okay, so far this foundation, I mean, I like it better than I did when I first tried it. I'm still not in love with the shade match on me. They don't really have a lot of cool tone shades in their range. This one is supposed to be more of a neutral, so I kind of went with it. But my skin is much more cool toned, and I'm feeling like in some places it's just making my skin a lot more yellowed. I don't know if maybe they've changed the formula or if it's just my different way of applying it or a different primer or something, I don't know. I'm liking the way it feels on my skin a little bit better than I did, I feel like, when I first tried it. Okay, next, I gotta conceal my dark circles. I have a couple concealers that I have not tried yet. These are both new to me, and I think these are new products to Milani. This is the Conceal and Perfect All-in-One Concealer Kit, and it's got 4 shades. I haven't tried this yet, but here's why I'm not totally crazy about this right away. First of all, this is pretty big and bulky, and I know you are, I mean, it looks like you're getting quite a bit of product here, but I I mean, I get that you can kind of, like, this is your peachy shade for concealing your dark circles, and then your other concealer shades you can kind of use for, you know, mixing, whether you want something lighter, darker. Like, I kind of get it. I'm just not someone who likes to do a whole lot of, like, mixing to get just the right shade. I kind of like just pick it up and go. So while I do think this could be good for some people, I don't really see myself reaching for this very often, but I'm gonna give it a try. Maybe it'll blow me away. I don't know. I'm gonna take this sort of peachy shade right here, and I'm actually gonna use my Real Techniques. This is my pointed foundation brush, because this is actually the brush I used to use when I used the Tarte like pot color corrector. So I just figured, since this is a similar style product, that I would do that, and I'm actually going to place it pretty much where I have my dark circles. This is actually a much lighter and brighter shade than what I usually use to cover my dark circles. It's pinkier. This isn't reading as like peach or salmon to me as usual, and like this, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I feel like this is just gonna emphasize my dark circles. It's just, it's almost a brightener. At least on me it is. I mean, maybe if you're a lot more fair than I am. I can't imagine there being a whole lot of people that this shade would cover dark circles on. Yeah, this is totally just gonna emphasize my dark circles. Not really a fan of this kit so far. I usually use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Honey, which is actually concealer, but it's sort of a peachier shade on me. And I actually just put it on the back of my hand, and this shade down here, which they're calling the 3 shade, looks similar. So I'm just gonna kind of see if I can maybe pop that over this. Maybe see if I can make this work. It's still feeling like, I'm looking in the monitor and I'm like, it still feels like it's brightened, and I'm not feeling like it's going on very smoothly. It's feeling very patchy on me. I don't know if you could pick that up on camera. I don't like this. Don't like this at all. Not a fan of this. Kind of just use that as a color corrector, although technically I used 2 different shades and now it's all ugh. But anyway, we're gonna power through. I'm gonna use the Milani Touch and Erase Light Lifting Concealer. This is in the shade 02 Light. Okay, so you're supposed to, ooh, oh, okay, that came out faster than I thought it was going to. Okay, you're supposed to squeeze this out. It's kind of similar to the, like the Maybelline Age Rewind things, which I know a lot of people were kind of like back and forth about, because they're like, well, you can't sanitize the tip, and which I kind of get, but I mean, at the end of the day, as you know, if you don't ever share it. Like a product like this, don't ever share it with anyone. But you're using it on your own face, and you know, your own face is clean, and provided that, you know, your pets aren't chewing on it or something like that. That's so gross. Oh my god, I can't even believe I said that. I wouldn't get too freaked out over something like this. The fact that you can't clean it every time. You know, I'm a germaphobe, but it's your face. Just use it on your face. We're all gonna be good. It's all good. This is blending out nicer than the other one. It's feeling kind of patchy. Concealers for me are very similar to primers. I'm extremely picky about them. I like this much better than this. I don't see myself reaching for this a whole lot because I don't think it applied all that smoothly. It feels a little patchy. I know I said before the things you should spend money on are primer and foundation. I kind of want to add concealer to that. I feel like, you know what, you can go to the drugstore, you can get a great lipstick, you can get a great eyeshadow. They're actually really stepping up the game with highlighters and blushes and stuff like that. Your base makeup, I'm all about, that's where you should spend your money. Anything else, you can really get away with. There's great options at the drugstore, but like your base makeup, that's where you want it. That's where you want to invest. I think I would give this another try, but it's not making me be like, oh my god, I want to get rid of all my other concealers and use this. Already looking kind of creasy on me, so. I bought 2 of these. I had one of them, and then I threw it away because I kind of didn't like it, and then I repurchased it so I could have 2 different colors to choose from because I am so stupid. Alright, this is the Milani Contour and Highlight Cream and Liquid Duo. This is the shade Fair Light, which I tried before and was just kind of like about, and I guess I got rid of it because I couldn't find it anywhere. And then I ended up picking up the shade, which is 02 Light Natural. I think I'm actually going to try the Light Natural. The Fair Light shade, the contour shade was nice, but it was a little bit too pale and ashy on me. So I really want to try this Light Natural shade. You know, kind of almost like a lipstick, only it's a contour. I'm actually just going to give it a try. This might be a little bit too dark on me, I don't know. I'm just gonna sort of place it. I don't usually contour my nose. Please don't criticize my contour technique when it comes to my nose because I don't do it very often, so. I actually usually do my jawline and my chin more often and my cheekbones because that's where I need the slimming. Do you think it's blending out nicely? It definitely blends easily, like it doesn't feel like it's getting patchy at all. I do think I like this one a little bit better than the light one. That's what I discovered. You really have to twist it all the way down. If you leave it up a tiny little bit, it gets smushed on the top. That's one of the things I forgot. But because it's a very soft cream contour, it's blending very easily and I'm not feeling like it's patchy at all. So I'm liking that. So I'm gonna give this cream highlighter side a try. I am very picky about cream highlighters. Very rarely find ones that I like. I like the contour part. I do. I'm kind of liking the shade. It blends in okay if you work quickly. It's not disrupting my foundation a lot. I don't hate it as far as cream highlighters go, which is saying a lot because there's very few that I actually really like. This one, I'm like, it's okay. I wouldn't go out of my way to reach for it though. Okay, I actually used to have some Milani brow products, but I can't find any of them. So I just did my brows real quick with some of my regular brow stuff. I'm gonna work on eyes right now for a bit, and I'm gonna use the Milani eyeshadow primer. When it comes to shadow primers, to be honest, I always use one. I feel like it makes a huge difference, but I don't think it makes a huge difference which one you use. The Milani is a good one. There's other drugstore ones that are good. There's other high-end ones that are good. I don't really feel like it's sitting very well right now on my lid because of the concealer that I don't like. Gotta do what you gotta do. I've used it before and it was a very good shadow primer. Okay, next I'm going to use, Milani has come out with quite a few palettes and I wasn't sure which one I wanted to try. This is the Milani Everyday Eyes #2 Bare Necessities. I just thought this had some really pretty warm yet cool, if that makes any sense, like neutral shades that I just felt like it just felt very me. I feel like these kind of bronzy gold shades really bring out blue eyes, so I really like using them. I'm gonna use this large shade here, which I actually thought was more of a matte shade, but it looks more like a shimmer now that I look at it. I'm gonna use that all over my lid as a base. I'm actually going to take this taupey color and I'm actually going to place that in my crease. I'm gonna take this gold shade right here and I'm gonna kind of put that all over my lid. There's the fallout. That's some fallout right there. She says fearfully, I'm going to use this slightly darker, it's a shimmery kind of bronzy shade. Ooh, that's a lot of kickback right there. All right, so the metallics definitely have more kickback and more fallout than 1 or 2 matte shades they have in here. I'm just gonna kind of use this to just sort of like deepen up the outer edge. Yeah, this ended up a lot messier than what I thought it was gonna be when I started. Because I kind of want to use all the shades in here, I'm gonna use this really light one, which, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like it's so close to this large one over here. It is different. It's more of a vanilla, whereas this has a little bit more of a pinkier tone to it. I don't know. I just kind of feel like it's not necessary, but I'm gonna try to use that in the inner corners. The colors are pretty. The fallout is, and the kickback is intense. But I do really like the colors. I like the way the colors work together. I'm gonna use this darker shade over my liner in a minute, but I mean, it's nice. I mean, the packaging is nice. They kept it affordable. They didn't put a mirror in, which I'm not really hating on because I think that's keeping the price point down. I don't think for a drugstore shadow palette, I don't think it's bad. I do think you have to prepare for it. I think you probably need to definitely like do your eye makeup first. Messier than I wish it was, is all I'm saying. Okay, I'm going to use the Milani Stay Put 17-Hour Wear Liquid Liner. This is actually the only product I think I have that was actually gifted to me. It was in like a gift bag that I received, but I've used it and I love it. I got the Coffee Matte, which is the brown shade. I was also gifted the blue shade, which I don't think I've ever used. I may have used it once, but I don't really reach for blue liner that often. And I purchased the black on my own because I do really like this. I'm gonna be honest, while I'm applying it right now, it's probably gonna go on a little patchy because I've had this for a while and I do think I really need a new one. But that's just because I've had this for a while and I do use it quite a bit. All right, I'm gonna go back into this palette of horrors here. It's not of horrors, it's not that bad. And I'm actually gonna go into this matte brown shade. I'm just gonna tap it along the liner and apparently make quite a bit of a mess. I didn't think that was gonna be as messy. So almost like set the liner and make it a little bit more even. The shadow fallout continues. I'm gonna actually go back, I think, to my Touch and Erase concealer. I just kind of want to use it to just sort of clean up under my wing and maybe around my eye makeup before I set everything. I'm I'm gonna try out the Milani setting powder. This is in translucent light to medium. I'm gonna start out under my eyes. This is what I usually do with setting powder. And I'm gonna use this little setting brush. I love loose powders, but they're so messy. I can see it all like in the air here. It's going on nicely. Yeah, and a lot shows up on your brush. It's a very fine, fine, fine setting powder. I think I'm gonna be inhaling this stuff for the rest of my life. So I definitely would tap quite a bit off and start lightly, and you know, you can always build. It's blending in nicely. It's not looking really cakey or powdery. It's intense though. I picked up that one, and I also decided to pick up the Radiant because I kind of couldn't resist. This actually has like glitter flecks. All right, this might be a little bit too glittery. I'm gonna focus on just the center of my face. Okay, first of all, my forehead is super shiny now. I think this is actually honestly more of a highlighter. When I was thinking radiance, I was thinking more of like the Hourglass ambient lighting powders. This is not that. I am so shiny right now. I love a good glow. This is a bit much for me. So yeah, if you do get the Radiant powder, you could almost use this as a highlighter. I think it would be a subtle highlighter, but it's not an all over powder unless you really want to look shiny. Not bad, but proceed with caution. This is my Milani Baked Bronzer, and this is the shade 09 Dolce. It was in my collection. I don't remember it, so I don't remember how I felt about it. I don't use it very often, so I obviously didn't love it. This actually has, I mean, they're subtle, but it has some gold flecks. It has a mirror on the other side. It has some gold flecks in it. I love metallics, I love gold flecks, I love shimmer. But in a bronzer, I tend to prefer something that's either more of like a satin finish or a little bit more matte. For blush, I'm going to use the powder blush in 05 Coral Cove. You cannot beat the packaging with these blushes. I mean, I know the top is just a simple clear top, but the rose and the packaging is off the charts. These blushes are intense. Like, you get a lot of color payoff. I am not a big color payoff blush person. For me, I like these, but I have to do a very light hand or I can over blush very easily. But if you like highly pigmented blushes, I mean, Milani does blushes at the drugstore like no other. So, I mean, I highly recommend these. If for no other reason, then they look gorgeous. Like for Instagram photos or just on display, they're amazing. I'm trying to go so subtle. And it's like, yeah, this is a lot of blush. Highly pigmented. So if you don't like highly pigmented blushes, or you don't wear a lot of blush, or just don't want a lot of color in your cheeks, proceed with caution. I feel like that's the theme of this video. Like, some of this stuff is really good, but you gotta proceed with caution. I feel bad because I was so excited about trying this highlighter, and I feel like I have way over highlighted my face at this point, so like I'm like not even gonna know if I love this highlighter or not. Okay, I picked up the Milani Strobe Light Instant Glow Powder. This is the shade 02 Day Glow. I have two different shades. I kind of felt like I wanted to go with the Day Glow. I also picked up the palettes, which I'm not gonna try because I already have so much highlighter on my face and I only have so many places I can put highlighter. So if you want to see me do these in another video, thumbs up, let me know. Similar to the blushes, this pattern here is stunning. I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but it almost looks like windblown sand in the, oh, it's so gorgeous. And I'm really hoping I'm gonna love this, but I kind of feel like the way my face is looking right now, any more highlight, I'm just gonna explode with glow here. This is going on very pretty. Yeah. Ooh, that's intense. Look at that on my nose. That is intense. I'm just looking at myself in the monitor and I'm like, oh my god. I should like go outside and like see if I can direct traffic with this much glow on my face. I definitely feel like I want to try this highlighter again with a makeup look where I haven't overdone all my other glow, because I do think it's got potential. I like the way it applied. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Check that out. I'm gonna throw on some mascara. Milani does have some mascaras, but I didn't pick one up. So I now have mascara on. Okay, I'm gonna finish up this look with lips. I'm actually going to line my lips with, this is one of my favorite lip liners, and it is definitely my favorite drugstore lip liner. This is the Milani Color Statement Lip Liner. This is in the shade True Red. I actually tested a whole bunch of lip liners. My MAC pencil lip liners are my absolute favorite, hands down. I feel like the Milani are kind of my second in line. The only complaint I have about Milani lip liners, I wish there was a bigger shade range. But other than that, I love the formula and I love them as lip liners. And for lipstick, I'm going to use the Milani Amore Matte Lip Cream, and this is in the shade Flame. I wear this shade. For someone like me who does not like orange, I wear the shade more often than I care to admit. I've worn it in several videos. I have a video about the high-end liquid lipstick this is a drugstore dupe for, which I will link to this video. I really love it, especially for spring and summer when you want like a pop of color on the lip. I love it. And this is the finished makeup look right here. I want to know which Milani products you love and which ones you're like, not so much. So be sure you leave a comment in the comment section below. If you have any products that you would like me to test and review, let me know that too. You can leave those in the comment section below. I love to hear from you. I love your suggestions. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. A while back, I was suffering from anxiety and depression, and I truly believe that beauty and makeup saved my life. And I believe it can save yours too. So if you want to be an everyday starlet, be sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. You can follow me on all my social media channels. The links will all be in the description box below, along with links to all these products. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you join me next time.